For well over 2 decades, LEGO has dedicated a lot of their time and resources to licensed themes. While the brand was born upon original in-house IPs, as they've grown throughout the 21st century, licensed themes have become the new bread and butter of the LEGO group. It started off relatively small, with just really popular IPs such as Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Spider-Man, but it's ballooned into so much more. If you had told me as a kid we'd have LEGO sets based on The Muppets, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, Super Mario, and so much more, I would have screamed with excitement. And this got me thinking, what licenses has LEGO not done that I would really love to see? Well, that's what we're gonna break down in today's video. Here are the top 10 LEGO licenses I think they should do next. Before we get started, I think we should break down a few ground rules for this list. Number 1, it must be a license LEGO has never touched. So as much as I'd love to include Avatar: The Last Airbender on this list, or say Mission Impossible, they're not eligible because LEGO has technically made stuff from those licenses in the past. Number 2, these licenses must fit LEGO's guidelines. For those of you who don't know, LEGO has pretty strict community guidelines when it comes to the themes they make. They're very anti-war, they're very anti-gun, and they will absolutely not touch anything that's R-rated or the equivalent ranking for its respective medium. This rules out some dreams of mine like Halo, Game of Thrones, or Blade Runner. Anything that's that explicit or that vulgar does not qualify for this list. Finally, rule number 3, these must not be something that's officially announced or rumored to become a set later this year. That means LEGO Jaws and LEGO Twilight, which have recently passed the review stages on ideas, are not eligible. Additionally, there are big rumors that Fortnite and The Legend of Zelda are going to be getting LEGO sets later this year, so they're not eligible as well. And trust me, if Zelda were eligible, it would probably be number 1 on my list. Makes sense? Alright, without further ado, let's begin the top 10 countdown. Number 10, The Hunger Games. Of all the top 20 highest grossing movie franchises ever in the history of film, there's only one that LEGO has not touched as a theme, and that is The Hunger Games. Now, this might be a bit on the violent side for LEGO, but the books are intended for teenagers and all the movies are PG-13, so it does fit within their guidelines. And I feel like The Hunger Games could make for some cool play sets and some cool vehicle builds as well, and the minifigures would be really awesome. I mean, who would not want a Katniss Everdeen figure with some cool bow and arrow pieces? That would be killer. Ultimately, I think The Hunger Games could be a cool theme, and they just released a movie last year in The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so if they plan on continuing this franchise into the future, I do think LEGO The Hunger Games could make for a pretty cool licensed product. Number 9 is a pipe dream of mine, and that is the NFL. Now, LEGO is no stranger to working with sports brands before. We got some recent ones based on soccer stadiums. We also, back in the day, got NHL and NBA sets, but nothing from the NFL. The issue with the NFL is it's mostly popular in the United States of America, and LEGO, of course, is a Danish-based company. So I'm not sure if they'd be inclined to make sets based on something that's not going to be very popular in Denmark. However, the NFL's reach is extending into Europe. They're playing games now in England, Germany, Spain upcoming. They're also starting to play games in Brazil. So there's a little bit more of a worldwide appeal to the NFL. And I think if the NFL continues to grow internationally, there is a slim chance they do something with this brand. I would love to see a stadium set for something from the NFL. If they made a mile-high stadium of my favorite team, the Denver Broncos, I would buy it for like $1,000. That would excite me so much. Or make a historical field like Lambeau Field or Soldier Field. That would be cool as well. And an NFL collectible minifigure series would be dope too. So that would be awesome. I really doubt they'll ever actually do anything with the NFL, but a man can dream. Number 8, How to Train Your Dragon. This one seems very obvious to me. It's a PG animated film series. There's a bunch of TV shows on Netflix, and we're are also getting a live action movie next year. I feel like this could definitely be a LEGO theme. And LEGO loves dragons. They just made the new Dungeons and Dragons set. They do tons of dragons every year for Ninjago. It just seems like an obvious candidate, and it's very cartoony. And LEGO also does have brand deals with DreamWorks in place, so I don't think it'd be that hard for them to set up doing something for How to Train Your Dragon. LEGO, get on it. Number 7 is one they definitely missed out on this year, and that is Godzilla. This character has been around for 70 years and is one of the most iconic monsters in the history of film. He also recently just had a TV show on Apple TV. There was Godzilla -1, and now there's Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, coming out in theaters today of the release of this video. It just seems like there's a lot of opportunity to make Godzilla sets. Unfortunately, Mega got the license, which is just confusing to me. I think LEGO could make some really cool Godzilla stuff. Imagine a gigantic brick-built Godzilla set, or even a smaller Godzilla set that's kind of to scale with architecture sets to make him look like he's skyscraper size. I think that would be really, really cool. You could also rope King Kong into this. Just a MonsterVerse / Godzilla theme would be epic. My number 6 entry is anime. Anything anime. I'm cheating a bit here, but I ended up basically, when making this list, I wrote down like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, My Hero Academia, Naruto, and my favorite anime growing up, Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, okay, maybe half the list shouldn't be anime, so I kind of combined all of anime into one category. LEGO. There is a gold mine of amazing content for minifigures and builds out there from anime, and you have touched none of it. It really is confusing, honestly, that LEGO anime hasn't happened. And LEGO has done an anime-inspired theme in the past, one of my favorite LEGO themes of all time, Exoforce. So they're showing a willingness to do something in that style. Just do it for a really popular license. I think One Piece and Naruto would probably be the most likely. Dragon Ball would be cool as well. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not entirely sure what they would do, but I would love to see anything possible from that theme. LEGO, do something anime, please. Number 5 is another import from Japan, and that is Power Rangers. I feel like Power Rangers minifigures would just be killer. They did that one pseudo Power Ranger from Collectible Minifigure a few years ago, and that was a dope figure that everyone loved. LEGO, just do that before the official Power Rangers license. I think the thing holding back Power Rangers is the lack of popular content coming out right now. The most recent theatrical movie was a big flop, although there are some very, relatively popular Netflix tie-ins for Power Rangers, and LEGO has worked with Netflix in the past. So I think there is potential for them to do something from Power Rangers, and I would love to see it, especially for the minifigures. Number 4 is my most wanted Nintendo theme now that Legend of Zelda is pretty much all but confirmed, and that is Star Fox. I feel like the minifigures of Star Fox would be similar to the Sonic the Hedgehog figures or the figures we just got from Animal Crossing, but with a little bit more detail. And all the builds would be the dope ships we see throughout the Star Fox games. This would just be incredible. It translates very well to LEGO form, and I think there could be a plethora of big and small sets to make from this. And the more Super Smash Bros. Characters LEGO decides to make into minifigures, the better, because I would love for Super Smash Bros. To be its own theme as well. LEGO, if you're going to continue working with Nintendo, definitely consider making Star Fox your next big Nintendo IP. Number 3 is something I think is very likely, and that is Shrek. LEGO Shrek has been the talk of the town for a few years now because of a few ideas projects, and they have not approved those ideas projects. Some people think they haven't because they're already secretly working on a LEGO Shrek set. I'm not entirely sure. I have no inside information on the matter. I just know that Shrek is one of the most popular movies ever made. There are 4 movies, and there is a rumored 5th movie coming out, hopefully in the near future. future, and it's become even more beloved because of the internet and memes. And even though Shrek is now 23 years old, which is just kind of hard to believe, everyone still seems to adore it. And I just feel like it would translate really well to Lego. It's a PG animated movie. You can make some awesome new molds for the minifigures. I would love to see Shrek as a Lego theme. Just giving us one set of the swamp would be great, but I think there is potential for lots of sets from Shrek. I would adore this. Number 2 is probably the biggest nerd intellectual property Lego has not made into sets, and that is Star Trek. Obviously Star Wars, Star Trek's biggest rival, which is not really a rivalry at this point in time, has lots of Lego sets. But Star Trek just seems like such a natural Lego theme. Now, I do think it would need to be a more adult-based Lego theme. I'm not sure how many children are jumping out of their seats for new Star Trek content, but there is new Star Trek content, and it is popular, and I feel like a lot of Star Trek stuff lends itself really well to big Lego sets. Imagine an Ultimate Collector Series style USS Enterprise from the original series as the one big Star Trek set. You get minifigures for the entire OG crew. That would be incredible. And if that set were to succeed, you could then do the Enterprise from Star Trek The Next Generation and have that crew as the figures in that set. Wouldn't that just be awesome? And then if that's successful, make, Deep Space Nine or the Voyager. I don't know. There's so many things they could possibly do from Star Trek. I don't think Star Trek would be a good small theme with like battle packs. I'm not really sure if anybody would purchase those, but I do think that Trekkie, hardcore Trek fans would be stoked to get really detailed, huge, amazing collector's edition models of these iconic ships and minifigures of these beloved characters. Star Trek Lego just seems like a no-brainer to me, and it almost came in number 1 on my list. Number 1 is one of the most popular brands in the entire world. There are cartoon shows, cartoon movies, live action movies, trading cards, and most famously, video games. I'm of course talking about Pokemon. I honestly don't know how this hasn't happened yet. It just seems like such an obvious idea. The biggest toy company in the world with the biggest video game franchise in the world combining forces to make something special. Pokemon brick sets do exist from Mega. And come on, Pokemon, you're better than some crappy Mega Block sets. Partner with Lego. Once your license with Mega ends, go to Lego and see what you can do, because I think you're sitting on something special there. It could truly be an all-time great theme, and there's so much content from the Pokemon universe. They pretty much make a new game every 3 years with remasters of old games in between. There are countless titles. There are over 1,000 Pokemon now. Just think about the endless possibility of product. These two franchises need to combine, and I truly believe it could be one of Lego's biggest themes ever made if pulled off correctly. And there you have it, y'all. Those are my picks for the top 10 Lego licenses they need to do next. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.